What does silence really mean? Many people think silence is just the absence of sound. They imagine a quiet room, an empty forest, or a place far from the city. But silence is much more than that. True silence is not only about the world outside, it is also about what is happening inside of us. In our lives, we are surrounded by noise every day. There are sounds from the television, from cars on the street, from people talking, and from music playing everywhere. But there is another kind of noise too. It is the noise inside our minds, our thoughts, worries, memories, and plans for tomorrow. All these things can fill our minds and make it feel crowded and loud, even if the world around us is completely quiet. Real silence starts when we begin to notice this inner noise. It is when we realize how busy our minds are and how much we think every minute. At first, it may feel strange. Some people feel uncomfortable when there is nothing to listen to or do. But when we allow ourselves to be still, we start to understand that silence is a space. It is a space where we can meet ourselves, just as we are. Silence gives us time to breathe, to notice our feelings, and to see life more clearly. It is not something empty or boring. Instead, silence is full of meaning and depth. It is in silence that we find the answers that words cannot give. When we welcome silence, we open the door to a new way of seeing and being. This is the true meaning of silence. Today, we live in a world that is always busy. There are always things to do, people to see, and places to go. Our smartphones are always in our hands, bringing us messages, news, and endless information. Even when we are alone, we often reach for our phones to fill the quiet. It is easy to feel that silence is something we need to avoid. But why are we so uncomfortable with silence? The world teaches us that being active is good, and that we should always be doing something. Many people believe that if they are not busy, they are wasting time. But this way of thinking fills our lives with noise. It is not only the sounds around us, but also the thoughts and worries in our minds. We keep thinking about what happened yesterday, or what will happen tomorrow. Our minds jump from one idea to the next, never resting. This kind of noise can make us feel tired, even when we are not physically working. It can also make us feel lost, because we never stop to listen to what we truly need or want. When our lives are too full of noise, we cannot hear the gentle voice inside us. We forget what it feels like to just be, without needing to do anything. Silence is rare in the modern world, but it is not impossible to find. We do not have to travel far, or leave everything behind. Sometimes, just turning off our devices for a few minutes can help. When we let go of the need to be always connected and always busy, we start to notice the noise within us. This is the first step to discovering real peace. Silence is not empty. It is a chance to remember who we are. Finding stillness does not mean we have to escape from our lives or hide from the world. Stillness is something we can find, even in the middle of a busy day. It is not about stopping everything or running away from our responsibilities. Instead, it is about learning to pause, just for a moment, and to be present with ourselves. In everyday life, we often move from one task to another without taking a break. We eat our meals quickly, rush from one place to another, and always think about what we need to do next. But even in these busy times, we can find small moments of stillness. For example, we can take a deep breath before answering the phone. We can enjoy a quiet moment in the morning before the day begins. We can notice the feeling of water on our hands when we wash them. These are all simple things, but they help us remember that silence and stillness are always possible. Stillness is not about making everything around us quiet. It is about creating a quiet space inside our hearts, even when the world is noisy. When we do this, we begin to feel calmer. Our worries seem smaller, and our minds become clearer. We do not have to wait for a perfect moment to enjoy stillness. We can bring it into our lives, little by little, by choosing to pause and notice what is happening right now. When we find stillness in daily life, we discover that we are stronger than we think. We do not need to control everything. By accepting each moment as it is, and by giving ourselves the gift of stillness, we let silence speak to us. It is in these moments that we find true peace, no matter where we are. Listening is something we do every day, but most of the time we listen to words. We pay attention to what people say, and we try to understand their meaning. But there is another kind of listening that is even deeper. It is listening beyond words. This kind of listening happens in silence. When someone is speaking, we might be thinking about how to reply or what we want to say next. Sometimes we listen only to the words, and we miss the true feeling behind them. But if we allow ourselves to be quiet, we can start to notice more. We can feel the emotions in the other person's voice. We can see the small expressions on their face, or the way they sit and move. We can sense what is not being said, but is still very important. Listening beyond words means being fully present with another person. It means giving them our full attention without planning our next words or judging what they say. In silence, we can understand each other more deeply. We start to see that many things cannot be explained with words. Sometimes, a person only needs us to be with them in silence, to show that we care. This kind of listening can also help us in our own lives. When we sit quietly and listen to ourselves, we may find feelings or thoughts that we did not notice before. We begin to understand our own hearts more clearly. Silence is not empty. It is full of meaning if we listen with open hearts. Letting the silence speak is a gift, both to others and to ourselves. In these quiet moments, we find a deeper connection with the world around us and with the people in our lives. We learn to listen not only with our ears, but also with our hearts. There is great power in simply being present. Many people spend much of their lives thinking about the past or worrying about the future. Our minds are busy with memories of what happened before or with plans for what might come next. But real life only happens in the present moment. Being present means giving our full attention to what is happening right now. It is not always easy, because our thoughts can quickly take us away. But when we choose to return to the present, even for a short time, we discover something special. The world becomes more vivid. We notice small details, the way sunlight falls on the table, the sound of the wind outside, or the warmth of a cup in our hands. Many people look for happiness in big events or special things. But the joy of life is often found in simple moments. When we are truly present, even the most ordinary day can feel rich and meaningful. We begin to see beauty where we did not notice it before. Silence helps us to be present. When we allow ourselves to be quiet, we can put aside our worries and listen to the world around us. In that silence, we do not need to be anyone else or go anywhere else. We can simply be here. This is where true peace and happiness begin. Sometimes it takes practice to be present. We may need to gently remind ourselves to come back to this moment, again and again. That is okay. Every time we do, we give ourselves the gift of now. The power of being present is not about changing our lives completely. It is about opening our hearts to this very moment and letting the silence speak to us. Many people believe that understanding comes from talking or sharing ideas with others. Words are important, but sometimes true understanding grows in silence. When we are silent, we give ourselves and others the space to go deeper. We do not need to explain everything or find the perfect words. In silence, meaning can appear on its own. There are moments in life when words are not enough. When someone feels deep sadness or great joy, it can be hard to describe these feelings. Sometimes, the best thing we can do is simply be there with them, sharing the silence. Our quiet presence can offer comfort and support in ways that words cannot. In these moments, we feel a connection that goes beyond language. Silence helps us understand ourselves too. When we take time to be quiet, we can notice things inside us that we may not see in our busy daily lives. We can reflect on our experiences and feelings. Sometimes, new ideas or answers come to us when we are not trying too hard to find them. This is the wisdom of silence. It is gentle and patient, but very powerful. In silence, we also learn to accept what we do not know. We do not have to rush to solve every problem, or to understand everything right away. We can let questions remain, and trust that the answers will come in their own time. This takes courage, but it leads to true understanding. When we allow silence to be part of our lives, we discover new ways to understand ourselves and others. We learn that we do not always need to speak. Sometimes, the greatest wisdom is found in the quiet moments, when we simply listen and let things be as they are. Nature has much to teach us about quietness. When we walk in a forest, stand by a river, or sit in a garden, we can feel a deep sense of peace. Trees do not rush, and rivers do not hurry. Everything in nature follows its own gentle rhythm. In these places, we can experience true silence, not because there are no sounds, but because the sounds of nature are calm and soothing. Sometimes people think silence means nothing is happening. But in nature, even when it seems quiet, there is life everywhere. The leaves move softly in the wind, birds sing in the distance, and insects go about their work. Nature's quietness is not empty. It is alive and full. When we spend time in these peaceful places, our own hearts become calm too. We feel connected to the world around us. Nature shows us that we do not need to force things or move quickly. Flowers bloom in their own time. The sun rises and sets each day, following a pattern that never rushes. When we watch the sky or listen to the rain, we can remember to slow down and be patient with ourselves. The quietness of nature can help us return to our true selves. When we are surrounded by the simple beauty of the natural world, our worries begin to fade. We remember what is truly important and let go of things that do not matter. We realize that we are a part of something bigger. Learning from nature's quietness can change the way we live. Even if we live in a busy city, we can find moments to look at the sky, notice a tree, or listen to the sound of water. Nature invites us to be still and listen. In this quietness, we find peace, strength, and a gentle wisdom that speaks without words. Silence has a special power to heal our hearts. In our daily lives, we often experience many different emotions. Sometimes we feel hurt, lonely, or worried. Other times, we may feel angry or disappointed. These feelings can become heavy if we do not give ourselves time to rest and recover. When we are always busy, it is easy to ignore our emotions. We may try to hide our pain by watching videos, listening to music, or talking with others. But these things do not always help us heal. True healing often begins when we allow ourselves to be quiet and face our feelings. In silence, we can finally listen to our hearts. At first, it may feel uncomfortable to sit with our emotions. We may notice sadness or fear that we tried to forget. But if we stay patient and gentle with ourselves, silence becomes a safe space. In this space, we can accept our feelings without judging them. We do not have to fix everything right away. Simply being with our emotions in silence can help them soften and slowly fade away. Silence also gives us the chance to forgive ourselves and others. In quiet moments, we can remember that everyone has struggles and nobody is perfect. This gentle understanding can bring peace to our hearts. Over time, spending time in silence helps us grow stronger and more balanced. We learn to care for ourselves and to face life's challenges with a calm mind. Healing does not always happen quickly, but silence helps us take small steps toward a happier heart. When we welcome silence, we open a door to deep healing, comfort, and hope. In this way, silence becomes a true friend to our hearts. Silence can be one of our greatest teachers. Many lessons in life cannot be learned from books or through conversation. Instead, they reveal themselves when we take time to be quiet and simply observe. In silence, we can discover truths about ourselves and the world that we may not notice when we are surrounded by noise. When we sit in silence, we may first feel bored or restless. Our minds want to fill the space with thoughts or activities. But if we remain patient, something begins to change. We start to see things more clearly. The problems that once felt so big may begin to look smaller. The answers we were searching for may appear on their own, without any effort. Silence teaches us to wait and trust the process of life. Silence also teaches us about acceptance. Not every question has a quick solution, and not every feeling can be explained. In silence, we learn to let things be as they are, without trying to change them right away. This gentle acceptance helps us feel more at peace, both with ourselves and with others. Another lesson from silence is the value of patience. Many good things in life take time to grow, just like plants need time to blossom. When we practice being quiet, we learn to wait and to let things unfold naturally. Finally, silence shows us the beauty of simplicity. When we are not distracted by many things, we notice the simple joys of life. A kind smile, a gentle breeze, a moment of calm. These small things can bring great happiness when we allow ourselves to notice them. In this way, silence becomes a wise and gentle teacher. If we listen with open hearts, we can learn many valuable lessons that will guide us throughout our lives. Sometimes, silence can feel uncomfortable. Many people notice this when they first try to be quiet or spend time alone. Old memories or worries may come up. We might feel restless, bored, or even a little anxious. It is natural to want to fill the silence with noise, activity, or distraction. But facing discomfort in quiet moments is also an important part of personal growth. When we allow ourselves to be quiet, we begin to notice thoughts and feelings that are usually hidden by the busyness of life. These might include sadness, regret, or fears about the future. It can be difficult to face these feelings, but they are a part of being human. By sitting with them, we slowly learn that they do not have to control us. The more we face our discomfort, the less power it has over us. Quiet moments give us the chance to explore our inner world with kindness. Instead of running away from uncomfortable emotions, we can greet them like old friends. We can ask ourselves gently, "What is this feeling trying to tell me?" We do not have to judge or fight against what we feel. Simply noticing and accepting these feelings in silence can bring great relief. Over time, we may find that the discomfort we once feared becomes easier to handle. We become stronger and more understanding toward ourselves. Silence is not always easy, but it is a safe space for us to meet every part of who we are. Each time we sit quietly with our discomfort, we take a step toward deeper peace and freedom. In this way, silence helps us grow. It teaches us that even difficult moments can become chances for learning and healing if we face them with patience and care. Some of the deepest connections in life are made without words. When we share a quiet moment with someone, we can feel close, even if nothing is said. Sometimes, being present with another person in silence shows more care and understanding than any conversation could. In our daily lives, we often feel the need to fill every moment with talk. We ask questions, share stories, and offer advice. These things are important, but sometimes words are not enough. When someone is sad or facing a difficult time, there may be nothing we can say to fix the problem. In these moments, our quiet presence is a true gift. Sitting together in silence can be a powerful way to show support. It tells the other person, "I am here with you," even when there are no answers. This kind of presence can create trust and comfort, and it lets the other person know they are not alone. Silence allows feelings to be shared without pressure or expectation. We can also experience this quiet connection with people we love, even when we are happy. Simply spending time together, watching the sunset, or enjoying a peaceful afternoon can deepen our bond. In these moments, we do not need to do or say anything special. Our togetherness in silence is enough. Quiet presence is a skill we can practice. By choosing to be fully with someone, without distractions or plans for what to say, we create space for true connection. Over time, we may notice that our relationships become more meaningful and honest. In this way, silence is not just for being alone, it is also for coming closer to others. By sharing silence, we open our hearts and we build deep connections that last. There is a quiet wisdom inside each of us. In the rush of everyday life, it can be hard to hear this gentle voice. We may look outside for answers, asking others what we should do, or searching for advice. But sometimes, the best guidance comes when we turn inward and listen to the silence within ourselves. When we are silent, our minds become less busy. The constant stream of thoughts and opinions begins to slow down. In this calm space, we can start to notice what is truly important to us. Sometimes an answer or new idea appears without effort, as if it was always there, waiting to be found. This is our inner wisdom speaking. Listening to our inner wisdom takes practice. We may not always trust what we hear at first, or we might worry that we are making a mistake. But over time, silence helps us build trust in ourselves. We begin to notice patterns in our feelings and thoughts. We see what brings us peace and what causes stress. This gentle awareness helps us make better choices in life. Silence also teaches us to be patient with ourselves. Not every answer will come right away, and that is okay. Sometimes we need to give ourselves time to reflect and let things unfold naturally. The wisdom we find in silence is not loud or demanding. It is calm, steady, and kind. By spending time in silence, we learn to listen to our hearts. We understand ourselves better and feel more confident in our decisions. This inner wisdom is always available to us, no matter where we are. All we need to do is pause, be quiet, and let the silence speak. In this way, we discover a peaceful strength that comes from within. It can be easy to forget about silence when life is busy. Our days are often filled with activities, responsibilities, and noise, but embracing silence does not mean we have to change everything at once. We can welcome silence into our daily routines in small, simple ways. One way is to find quiet moments at the start or end of the day. In the morning, before checking your phone or starting work, take a few minutes to sit quietly. Notice your breathing or the feeling of the new day. At night, before going to sleep, turn off your devices and let your mind rest in the quiet. These gentle pauses help us begin and end our days with calm. We can also bring silence into everyday activities. When walking, try to leave your headphones at home and listen to the natural sounds around you. During meals, eat slowly and enjoy the taste of your food without distractions. Even while waiting for a bus or standing in line. You can use that time to be quiet and notice the present moment. You do not need a special place or long periods of time to enjoy silence. Short moments can be powerful. With practice, these moments of quiet will start to feel natural and comforting. They become small islands of peace that help us handle stress and bring balance to our lives. As we make silence a part of our routine, we may notice many benefits. We feel calmer, think more clearly, and enjoy life more deeply. Our hearts and minds have time to rest and recharge. Embracing silence in our daily lives is a gentle but strong way to care for ourselves. In these quiet moments, we open the door to peace, happiness, and a deeper understanding of life. Silence is a precious gift that is always available to us. In the quiet moments, we can find peace, strength, and understanding that may not be found in words or activity. By welcoming silence into our lives, we open ourselves to a deeper kind of happiness. We begin to see that we do not always need to do more or say more. Sometimes, simply being and listening is enough. As we spend more time in silence, we may notice changes in ourselves. Our minds become clearer, our hearts become lighter, and our days feel less rushed. Silence allows us to connect with ourselves and with others in a gentle, honest way. It helps us remember what is truly important and lets us move through life with more patience and kindness. Even in a busy world, these quiet moments can become a source of great comfort. Whether we are alone or with loved ones, silence can bring us closer together. It reminds us that we are not separate from the world, but part of a much larger story. Thank you very much for spending this time with me and for listening to these thoughts on silence. Your support means a great deal. I am truly grateful to everyone who has watched, left a like, subscribed to this channel, shared a comment, or joined as a member, or sent a super thanks. Each of these gestures is warmly appreciated, and it encourages me to continue sharing these reflections. May silence continue to bring you peace and clarity in your daily life. Wishing you calm and gentle moments wherever you are, and thank you again for being here today.